Hey, y'all, and welcome back to the Winning Wednesday podcast. I am your host, Geneva Brown, and today's message is called You Are the Light. Have you ever seen someone walk into the room and everything begins to change? The atmosphere begins to shift, and people begin to respond to their presence. We often say that that person can, quote unquote, light up a room. There is something about them that draws others in. And Jesus is like that. Jesus is the true light of the world, a light that can never be overtaken. The Apostle John reminds us that the light shines in darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That's in John chapter 1, verse 5. So it brings to mind that Jesus carries a light that darkness cannot defeat. And as believers and children of God, we carry that same light with us because we are made in God's image. And it is said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, so God created mankind in his own image. And so because we are created in his likeness, his light lives within us. Jesus himself said, I am the light of the world, and whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. And that is in John chapter 8, verse 12. And then Jesus tells us something very powerful. You are the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. And that's in Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. So, knowing all of this, the gifts, the talents, and the purpose God has placed inside of us, they were never meant to stay hidden. They were meant to shine so that others can see God's goodness through our lives. Yet, many times as believers, we struggle because we try to be a light in the world without staying connected to the one who is the light of the world. And we see the darkness all around us and we want desperately to change it, but we become afraid to shine our light. So sometimes we forget who we are. And as I was thinking about this, I began to remember the movie, The Lion King, when Simba is told to remember who you are. He had allowed his environment to shape his identity and to forget that he was the king. And sometimes we allow our environments to make us forget that we are children of the king. So, in that same way, when life becomes difficult and darkness seems overwhelming, we sometimes can conform to the world around us and forget the truth of who we are. But scripture is always there to remind us and give us the hope and the reassurance that we need. Romans chapter 12, verse 2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So no matter how dark the world becomes, darkness can never overcome light. Even the smallest light can fill an entire room. For we were once in darkness, but now we are in light in the Lord. Live as children of light. That is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 8. And something beautiful happens when light comes together. One light, it attracts another. And suddenly, the darkness, it begins to disappear. When you turn on your light of faith, God joins it with his great light, and the environments around us, they begin to change. So he uses ordinary people like you and me who are willing to allow him to let our light shine. So let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify not you, but our Father who is in heaven. And that is Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. So today, you must make a decision. If you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling like the darkness, the world, the environments that you're in or surrounded by, if they are overwhelming and overtaking you, I want you to remember these scriptures that you have a light inside of you and you have everything inside of you that you need to change those environments around you. So you have a decision to make. Will you hide the light that God placed inside of you, or will you allow it to shine? Sometimes we look at others and we admire their light, saying, I wish I could be like that. But God did not call you to shine like someone else. He placed a unique light inside of you for a specific purpose. The world does not need another copy of someone else's light. The world needs your light. So remember who you are. Stay connected to Jesus, who is the light of the world, and allow his light in you to shine wherever you go, because darkness can never overcome it. That is the Winning Wednesday word. If today's message has encouraged you, would you consider sharing the Winning Wednesday podcast with someone today? Thank y'all for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.